From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, for those of you who may not know, the Perseid meteor shower has been going on since July 14th. So, of course, over the last several nights, you've probably seen some of those meteors, but the peak will be Saturday night in particular, and even into Sunday night as well. So 10% full of the moon, so that's good viewing. And again, as I mentioned, this weekend. Now, there could be upwards of 90 to even 100 meteors per hour. So certainly some good viewing out there. Now, I've mentioned, and we're going to be talking about the potential for thunderstorms, but I think for the most part, we'll have pretty clear skies for viewing for almost everyone. I mean, there are going to be some of those spots that do see those thunderstorms, and it may take a little bit longer for those skies to clear out. There you can, of course, see the sunny skies out there this afternoon, possible showers and thunderstorms this weekend, and it really depends on where you are, but I think most of it will be in the mountains, and in the eastern mountains in particular. Elsewhere, the chances are going to be slimmer. We'll take a little deeper dive in that here in a second. Now, the summer heat, that's returning. We're not going to really notice it today, but we're going to notice it this weekend, and we'll notice it through most of next week as well. By the end of next week, we'll start to see some relief. So let's take a look at your hour-by-hour forecast for the rest of the day today. Yeah, those temperatures in the low to mid-90s. I think I'm a little conservative with the temperature for Redding. Could get closer to some upper 90s there, but bottom line, staying below 100 degrees. And looking at the mountains, temperatures upper 80s to low 90s. You'll notice the raindrops here for Bernie and Susanville. That's just because there is a slight chance that some of the eastern mountains could see some activity. Quite honestly, you'll most likely make it through the day dry for both Bernie and Susanville. But again, it's just one of those things. Be aware, because it certainly could happen. Let's take a look at that fire potential for your Friday, and we are in that low risk here for the areas in yellow. This is, of course, the area where we do have that potential, a slight chance for a stray shower or a thunderstorm, and that's why it's been elevated. Now, we're going to fast forward all the way to Sunday, because Sunday, now we're going from brown to red, indicating the better chances for thunderstorms. This is where we do have chances for thunderstorms as well, but the chances are slimmer in those areas, not to mention in the valley. And by the way, take note along the coast here, typically it's been green, but even been upgraded to the low risk. So it is a low risk, obviously. Now, the reason we're still tracking the chances for thunderstorms is right down here. You'll notice this moisture. See that spin of low pressure? All of this moisture is working its way northward. It is, of course, the remnants of a tropical storm, and in combination with that, of course, some monsoonal moisture that will be working its way north as well. So that spin with that low pressure system is mainly going to stay to our south. And that is an indication as to why most of the thunderstorms will be in the higher elevation. So here's a look at the thunderstorm outlook for your Saturday. This is pretty much, I think, going to be the best chances for areas that see those thunderstorms. So I think really in the mountains, this is where you have the best chance. Then you could see some of those because the storms will be moving from east to west. So there's a chance some of those may roll into the valley. Now, typically thunderstorms die down by the time they make their way to the valley. Depends on how strong those thunderstorms are. So that's the reason why Saturday and even Sunday, there is that chance that we could see that activity. Now look at Sunday. You'll see the chances do kind of expand westward here. So places like Weaverville, Hayfork, even Mount Shasta, even northward into northern Siskiyou County and Modoc County could see a chance. But I think this is where we have the best chances. All right, so let's take a look at FutureCast. Here's what it looks like today. Forecast models really backing down on even the potential for eastern Lassen County, but you saw in there we could be looking at a little bit of activity developing in parts of the eastern mountains today, but the better chances will come this weekend. Let's take a look at Saturday afternoon. Now, this particular forecast model is backing down on the overall intensity, but you'll notice where the main activity is, Lassen County, but Plumas County, and the mountains of Shasta, Tehama, even Butte County could see some activity. And as those storms move to the west, as I mentioned, they could make their way into the valley. That being said, since these are most likely going to be fairly weak, excuse me, we'll most likely see those die down before they hit the valley. But we can't rule out a stray shower, especially in the late afternoon, early evening hours for parts of the valley on Saturday. All right, let's take you on into Saturday night. You can still see some activity here kind of developing here. Now we take you into Sunday. Same situation. It's dry for most of the day, but then in the afternoon, those thunderstorms begin to pop up. Same situation. You see the main areas are going to be south of Modoc, south of Siskiyou, but we are seeing it mainly in Lassen, Plumas County, eastern Shasta County, eastern Tehama County, and into Butte County as well. Same situation. These are moving from east to west, so we could see some of those come down into the valley. Now, if these are stronger, as FUTURECAST is indicating here, some of them may hold on strong enough to even produce a few thunderstorms in parts of the valley as well. This is one of those weekends you just need to be weather aware depending on where you're going. So I think, again, the bottom line is over the weekend, most of the activity is going to be where you're seeing it right here. Now, as we go into the overnight hours, that will kind of transition westward. So places in Trinity County, as we go into Sunday night, may see some activity as well. Let's take a look at the long range. The long range hasn't been too terribly reliable these days, but we go into Monday and you're seeing more activity even for parts of the valley. So actually, I've included a chance for some activity even in the valley. Now, as we go beyond Monday, we go into Tuesday and into Wednesday of next week. There's Tuesday, not much going on, but then as we go into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you see how we're seeing these afternoon and evening activity kind of popping up in the mountains, and then it looks like into that next weekend, we may not see much in the way of activity. Bottom line is, and I've been saying this the last several days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now it's looking more like Sunday, Monday, the best chances. But Saturday, there certainly will be some activity here in the eastern mountains. By the way, now let's talk about the heat. There actually is an excessive heat watch for western Siskiyou County, which does include Yreka, for Sunday through Thursday. Now, the reason I mention Yreka is because, as you know, you got the Golden Fair out there. So if you're heading out, just know that especially on Sunday, that's the peak of the heat wave. After that, the temperatures will start to drop slightly, but still hot, even going through next week. So let's take a look at that trend. So it's mainly Sunday through Thursday for western Siskiyou County. There's that excessive heat watch. So you see where the hottest temperatures are? They're on Sunday, and we pretty much keep it that way through Thursday. This is when the heat watch expires. Temperatures do start to drop by the end of the week. That's the trend, and we're looking for Redding, but that's going to be the same overall trend when we're talking about heat elsewhere. So let's take a look at your Siskiyou Golden Fair. This is going to be the Golden Fairgrounds through this upcoming Sunday. So there's a look at today. You've got temperatures in the mid-90s, a bit warmer on Saturday, that slight chance for an afternoon thunderstorm, but quite honestly, as you start heading north, chances are going to be slimmer. So most likely, you'll just need the umbrella to shade you a bit here. And that'll be the case as we go into Sunday as well. Just a slight chance, but overall, I think most of the thunderstorms will be south of Yreka over the weekend. All right, here's what it looks like for your Friday. Temperatures in the mid-90s, give or take, for the valley. As I said, I think it's a little conservative here, so I may want to just bump these temperatures up by a degree or two here for today, but at least we're staying below 100. And then for the mountains, in the 80s and some low 90s in there as well. Let's take a look at your 7-day outlook. Now, you see a lot of words on here. You see a lot of strikes of lightning. So let's take a look at Susanville. You'll notice each and every single day we've got that chance in there. So I think the best chances overall will be, especially in Lassen County and eastern Plumas County as well. Now for Alturas, as I mentioned, as you head south of Modoc and Siskiyou, that's the better chances. So Modoc and Siskiyou County have slimmer chances, but there you can see I've got you dry for Alturas. Now I think maybe a better chance is going into next week. Now for Siskiyou County, Mount Shasta, for example, Saturday, Sunday, a slight chance for an evening shower or thunderstorm, maybe into Monday, maybe a break on Tuesday, and then looks like going into Wednesday, Thursday of next week, there could be another chance. Now we take a look at the valley. Here you have it, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now here's the situation. I'd be willing to guess that many of us in the valley are going to be dry all weekend long. But we can't, especially when we have that activity developing to the east and it's moving from east to west, some of those thunderstorms could make their way down into the valley in the form of a sprinkle, a light shower, or maybe even an isolated thunderstorm. So I've got the chances in there for Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday, but then it should be dry entirely as we go into Tuesday and Wednesday. And then, of course, take a look at the temperatures. That's the other big story here. We've got about 106 degrees by Sunday for Reading. That's the peak. And then temperatures will start to kind of just hover between 100 and 105, at least through next Thursday. And there's a very good chance we could finally drop below 100 degrees by the end of next week.